Hello guys, today we're going to talk about some conditional probability, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of examples that are on your Delta Math assignment. Here is one example that reads that a bag contains 7 red marbles, 4 blue marbles, 5 green marbles. If 2 marbles are drawn out, what is the probability that both marbles are blue? Now here in this situation, if you were to tally up the 7 reds, the 4 blues, and the 5 greens, there is a total of 16 marbles. But this is a special case because we're actually going to select 2 marbles, and we want to know the probability that they're both going to be blue. So this is really like just saying the probability of a blue marble and then getting another blue. So this is 2 events happening at the same time. If we were just doing our basic probability where I was only drawing 1 blue, then I would just say that 4 out of the 16 marbles are blue, and that would just be for one event. But since this one is 2 marbles and we want both marbles to be blue, this is the formula that you will use. Whenever you have the probability of getting a blue followed up by another blue, we're going to use the formula, the probability of the first event multiplied by the probability of the second event. So the probability of getting a blue the very first time, we've already said, is 4 out of the total of 16 marbles. So that is 4 over 16, which reduces down to a fourth. But I want you to think about the second event. If we have already pulled out 1 blue marble, isn't there only 15 marbles left in the bag now? So you're going to have to change the denominator sample space here. And if I already pulled out 1 of the blues, now there's only 3 blue marbles left. So the second event, since 1 of the marbles is gone, I only have 15 marbles, and since 1 of the blues was removed on the first draw, I only have 3 blues left. So I'm going to multiply 4 out of 16 blues times 3 out of 15 blues, and I'm going to reduce those fractions down, and then I can multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 5 is 20, so that is the probability, 1 out of 20. Okay, so whenever you have multiple events like this, you're going to multiply those 2 probabilities together. Okay, here is another example. This is some conditional probability. It says that in a class, the following table summarizes the genders of students and whether they have an A in the class. What is the probability that a female doesn't have an A? Now, if you will look at the table that has been provided, what I'm going to do is add an extra row and column to put in the totals. If there are 5 female students that have an A and 3 male students that have an A, that is a total of 8 kids in the class that have A's. Now, 8 females don't have A's and 7 males don't have A's. That's a total of 15 kids that do not have A's. Now, if I total the number of females, there are 13 females. There are 10 males, so no matter how you add these up, the 8 and the 15 is going to be a total of 23 kids. The 13 and the 10 is a total of 23 kids. So this is a class with 23 students in it. If I were doing a basic probability problem, I would use all 23 students. But in this example, we have a condition. We are only picking from the group of females. It says, what is the probability that a female in the class doesn't have an A? So whenever you have conditional probability, you are not pulling from the entire sample space. You're only going to pull from that condition. So whenever you see it written this way, we're looking for the probability that we pick a student that doesn't have an A, but this vertical bar here is saying that you're given just the group of females. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this condition. Instead of 23 students as my sample space, we're really only picking from the group of females. So my denominator or my sample space in this example is 13. Out of the 13 females in this class, what's the probability that those 13 females, you pick somebody that doesn't have an A? Well, the number of females that do not have an A in the class is 8. So that means that 8 out of the 13 girls do not have A's. This is what it means to be conditional. Instead of picking from the entire class, you've put a condition on it where you're only picking from the group of girls. So that's what conditional probability is. It just changes your denominator from the whole group just to a certain condition, okay? And again, the great thing about these videos is that you can pause them, you can go back and watch them. Hopefully this will help you as you attempt to finish up your probability on your Delta Math. Please let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.